Hi guys. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me over here on the chatting side of things. Vincenza, I am struggling today. Well, at the moment, generally. You are not alone, and I'm glad you're here. Good place to be for the struggling because same. And I feel like we're always on the same page. So the last live stream I did it's now on my YouTube channel, I still don't really know what to call it, but I think I'm landing on support group just because that feels right. The last one I did is on my YouTube channel, and you guys can check that out at any time if you want. There's a couple up there now. Sammy, how am I doing and how are the parasites? I think I'm doing better. I think. It's a complicated question just because I'm on a break with my treatment for it because my Crohn's was flaring up too crazy. So like I'm doing bad and good. That's why it's hard to make updates, like health updates right now. You expected more energy, so did you get more energy? I think so, honestly. I really do. But it's tough just because IBD fam, if you're in here, Crohn's, colitis, whatever, if you got any of that, I've been, nauseous and throwing up like I did this morning, every single morning for 2 months now. It's been quite hellish, and it's very strange because I have fine energy before and after. Like, I was very sick this morning, and, I'm fine right now. So that's confusing. So like that's the part where like I don't really know what that is. It feels like maybe a partial bowel obstruction, but they can't do anything unless it's a full bowel obstruction. So I'm basically just having a lot of liquids and stupid Ensure drinks that I hate so much, but I got to keep pounds on me. So yeah, I guess that's how I'm doing. But I think I honestly am doing a lot better. And I just feel really good because it's August and it's summer and my birthday's in a few days. So that's fun. But anyway, thanks for asking. Vincenza says, I'm really struggling with the Ensure. Same. I don't use Ensure. I use other brand we get over here called Wed Sep, but it's hard because they make me feel so sick. And they feel, we have like Boost, Ensure, all the like those things here. I'm sure it's the same thing. And they fill me up, so I feel like if I could enjoy a bit of food, then I can't. Yeah, exactly. They're so filling and so disgusting. So like even if, you wanted to eat or could eat, you're full from having the Ensure drinks. But the most important thing is getting your nutrients in. And if you can't eat, like in the position I'm in, it's the unfortunate best option that we have, which is so stupid. And bone broth. Make bone broth. I've been making a lot of bone broth. And sea moss gel, I've been getting into that. There's a lot of like other things for like micronutrients that I'm trying to like supplement, so I don't have to have like a bunch of these. I'm just having like one a day now. I used to have to have like 5 just as meals. So I don't know, bone broth I would recommend because it's filling and yummier, and you can make it taste like whatever you want and add in like all the vegetables that you want and stuff. And hello, Elena, thank you for joining. And a question from Sammy says, what are your thoughts on self-help and productivity industry, excluding self-care and healing? And what are your thoughts on being inclusive about it? Cycles of life and uneven productivity and taking a break from things. They should talk more about it. Bliss Bean has a video on it. What productivity gurus don't tell you? Okay, very interesting question. And yes, Vincenza, message me about making bone broth. It's so easy. You literally just take bones and put them in water and boil them for like 3 hours. But message me and I'll send you my different recipes. And okay, let me think about this question. So I have a lot of thoughts about gurus in general, or people who call themselves that. I think it's used way too flippantly, I guess. And I don't have a lot of innate trust for anyone who refers to themselves in that way. And I guess it's really annoying. I guess I don't really witness a lot of that stuff of what you're talking about because I don't I'm like searching for ways to be more productive because I'm fine with what I produce at the rate that I produce it. But I have seen a lot of like self-employed business strategies on like how to have like a work-life balance and like how to have a healthy life while working from home, and or including self-care as a part of like business. And it's, I don't know, I guess I have really mixed emotions about it the more I'm thinking about it, because it's obviously a good thing that more people are talking about or are being mindful that you have to take care of yourself. Like, it's shocking that that wasn't a thing that people ever thought about. So I guess it's a good thing just in general that that's happening, but it is definitely being like whitewashed, and like a lot of things are being glossed over and being taught in ways that can be harmful. I don't think people should be doing self-care with the purpose of like I'm gonna have a self-care practice so that I can be better at my business, like, or so that I mean, I guess whatever gets you there. I guess it doesn't really matter what the force is if it gets you there, but I don't think you can stay in that mindset and actually be taking care of yourself, because then you'll be mad at yourself if you don't do your self-care practices, because then won't be as productive. You know what I mean? So I feel like mixing it with work could be damaging. But I haven't really thought too much about that, to be honest. Very interesting question, so thank you. They also don't talk about chronic illnesses. Yep. People with illnesses also need to be productive and earn cash. Yes. It is the most frustrating thing, because I guess that's when I said it annoys me. That was the thing I was thinking about, is that they never account. They're just assuming that everyone's baseline is perfect health, like when people talk. And I'm like, this does not apply to somebody who is chronically ill, you know? And Sammy says, yes, business people and influencers, but also industries and society as a whole. Study vloggers don't also talk about it. There are so many students with illnesses and various struggles. I had to leave school because of mine. Thankfully, the neurodivergence movement has raised some awareness about such things. That's very true. The default is assuming that everyone is healthy, neurotypical, productive, and financially well off. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that that is what people expect, at least here in the States, is that like your baseline is that you are like productive and normal and perfect. Like, it's delusional, honestly. And there's a whole mentality or like feeling that like if you are not feeling good, then like there's something really wrong with you. And if you don't have self-love, or if you don't love yourself, then it's like it's impossible to love other people, or it's impossible to be successful in life. And I'm like, but a lot of times you learn to love yourself through loving other things and other people, or like through being loved, and like seeing yourself through the eyes of someone who loves you. So it's like, it can't all be like this whole, I think it's a lot of like the individualistic society that this is where it's like me, 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 me. It's like, no, like, I mean, yes and no, but like we need to focus on ourselves to a large extent, but in relation to other things and other people, you know what I mean? Like, we don't exist by ourselves. We don't exist in a vacuum, even when we are in the middle of a flare-up and you like can't see anybody and you're stuck on the toilet for 10 hours a day or whatever. You still are a part of this world. Like, we're not alone, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of the self-care talk with productivity in general totally erases all of those things. It just doesn't apply. It like makes it so, I think that's probably why I don't see it, is because that's not my algorithm. But yeah, interesting. And Diane says, the self-care as a commodity. That's the word I don't remember if I was trying to think of that word earlier. Yes, we expect it to be a quick fix thing as opposed to a life focus, span, practice. Diane, thank you. Those were the words. Those are the concise words that my brain couldn't come up with. Yeah, I think that a lot of businesses, especially businesses that want to hire yoga or meditation teachers, that are big corporate, but they have a yoga teacher who comes in. It's treated like a commodity and like a thing, like go do yoga so that you can make us more money. Like do whatever you need to do to be more productive and make us more money. When that's not the point of it at all. Like the whole point of this is to be living a life that you are a participant in, that you're an active participant in your own life. To me, that's what this is about. Is I don't want to be going blindly through life and just kind of reacting to things and responding to things that happen to me, even though that's what life is and that's what my life has been a lot of. But I know that with awareness, you can be a more active participant. Like if you just pay attention to things more, you can make better decisions or make different decisions than you would normally if you didn't think about it at all and just have to make like a snap decision that might not be the decision you really want to make. Yes, for yourself, not for work. Absolutely. And that's what I guess the crux of what I was trying to say, of what annoys me about it, is that the business people who talk about this stuff all bring it back to the business. Like it's for you. It's for you to make more money to support your family. It's for you to make us more money is what they're not saying, but they are saying. So yeah. And it's the opposite of what it is. It really is. It's the most Americanized thing you could think of. Honestly, it's really gross when you think about it. Am I good asking cannabis related questions here? Of course you are. Absolutely, Vincenza. I'm a big lover of cannabis and I grow my own now, which makes me really happy. And I've had my medical card for like 15 years now. So the thing is that's so tough, Vincenza, that I can't, like, I've never been to England. You're the UK, like wherever you are. And I don't know the weed situation there. I know what it's like here, and it's fucked. Like officially so, like on the dispensary side of things, like Vincenzo said, they keep struggling with anxiety when vape, even with strains that are mellow and good CBD THC ratio. I'm not sure what the deal is. I've got some, and I've started adding it in at bedtime. That's great. I definitely stick with that RSO. See if you like that. Hit me up on Instagram or DM me or whatever, and I can send you the CBD oil that I use as like a topical, or you can eat it, and that's really, really nice. I can send you a link to that. I'm sure you can get that in the UK. I don't know. It's complicated. And Sammy says, IT might not like that word starting with F. Oh, did I say that? Sorry. Let's keep the usage of that to a minimum to avoid getting flagged. Thank you, Sammy. I didn't even realize I used that word. Sorry. Okay, let me get back to my book. Oh, wait, I remember now. I was angry. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to read now from... Yeah, I think you're right. I think I remember now. I was angry. I was talking about dispensaries. So anyway, on feeling, how to feel hard things. I want to read this section and then talk about it. Here we go. On feeling. The ability to feel is often seen as a burden combined with a blessing. It is not only one of the essential mediums that you use to navigate life and the world, but also where your greatest joys begin and your deepest sorrows take root. Heartache and happiness exist on different ends of the same spectrum of emotions. How you react to what you feel is often your greatest source of dissatisfaction and stress. More, your past and present manifest themselves through your ability to feel. Your conditioning is not just something that is intellectual. It is also experienced through the sensations you feel in your body. How you feel often morphs from something that is meant to inform you into something that dominates the way that you think and act. Healing and personal growth are grounded in establishing a new relationship with what you feel. The default for many is that they let their feelings make their decisions for them. This does not always yield the best results, because what you feel often dramatizes the narrative in your mind and leads you into making big decisions based on impermanent emotions. When you let your strongest emotions take center stage, it becomes easy to feed your own tension, like when you react to your anger with more anger, which simply makes the tension you feel bigger and bigger. We often react to strong emotions by forgetting that the ever-present law of change ensures that what we feel in this moment will not last forever. A storm may be powerful, but no storm is endless. Giving space to what you feel is always valuable because it's an essential part of healing and letting go. But if you let it take control, then it will be too easy to fall into past patterns. Being with it is better than becoming it. There is a subtle space you should become more familiar with. The space where reclaiming your power is truly possible. The space where you can feel a fire burning within you without giving it more fuel. This spaciousness of mind becomes more available to you when you realize that your first reaction is just your past trying to recreate itself. Left unchecked, your reactions will keep you in a loop where you are looking at your present life through the lens of your past emotional history. If you keep giving power to your first impulse, then you will keep reacting the same way you have reacted in your past. This way of living leaves little room for growth and for anything new to emerge. The challenge you face is building enough self-awareness so that you can actively and repeatedly say no to your past when it wants to take over. Saying no to your past doesn't mean suppressing it. It just means that you will let yourself feel whatever has come up, but you make the choice to allow your present self to remain the dominant force. The days of letting your old fears and anxieties make all your decisions for you are over. A new time has arisen where you are patiently creating room so that your present self can decide what actions will keep you on a path that is truly nourishing and liberating. It is time to let the past rest and fully embrace the present. Your capacity for happiness quietly expands whenever you let yourself sit with your sorrow. When darkness no longer scares you, your mind will be able to perceive more light. Each moment you spend tending to your old wounds makes space for new peace. Each moment of forgiveness gives you new direct routes to joy. When you decide to let yourself feel, unbind, and let go, you naturally start receiving life with gentler hands. The quest you take to free your heart from the past simultaneously elevates your future and improves your ability to love. So, I really love that section, but I won't let the past rest. I gotta spend hours being angry at it. How do you release anger without being stuck in it? So, there are many ways to release anger without being stuck in it, I think. And I think we all have different ways. Punching a pillow is a great way. Screaming as loud as you possibly can scream is another great way. Going for a run, jumping up and down, swinging your body around in a crazy manner. Yelling, I already said that. Venting, talking to a good friend. But getting it to a place where that, I think it has to be physical, because a lot of times when we are talking about the issues that we are facing, we can get stuck in that loop of our past imposing itself on our present. And like life is just a series of patterns. It really is. And when we recognize that a pattern's repeating, that's when we have the choice to repeat the pattern consciously or to make a different decision and just see what happens. It could be a worse outcome, it could be a better outcome, or it could be exactly the same. Who knows? But it'll be a switch up. It'll be something different than what you've done before. And as far as anger in general, I think anger gets somewhat of a bad rep because it's angry. It's like it's sharp. It's a sharp emotion to have. It's a bit uncomfortable. It makes people swear without realizing it. It can be a difficult emotion to feel, especially when you're angry about something that you have no control over and you can't do anything about. And the thing that I try to think about with anger, especially in regards to like the malpractice I saw, like things that I've suffered from that were not in my control and that were other people's like fault, and now I'm the one like the malpractice that I've suffered from, that I can get really angry about if I think about for too long. But the thing is that when you're angry, it at least has energy behind it, and it at least leads to action. Because the other place that I get to is being sad and depressed. And once I can flip out of the sadness and get into anger, that's kind of when things start to change and things start to happen. And then I can try to flip the anger into laughter, with what I did, anything can be funny. Like literally anything can be funny if you try, if you look hard enough. Like just the fact that I swore and I didn't even realize it because I was angry, that made me laugh. So it's like, and that lightens that breaks the tension of the anger a bit, because you can laugh about how angry you get. Yeah, I guess just letting your emotions kind of fold into each other and into different ones. But it definitely has to be a physical thing because anger like lives in the body, and you gotta like move your body in some way to release it. And yeah, it makes me walk around my room for hours instead of staying in bed sad. Yeah, a lot of action indeed. Absolutely, that's a great like visual depiction of it. Like depression is kind of laying in your bed being sad, and like when you're angry, you're pacing around and like you're pissed, you know, like you got to do something. I guess that's the one thing where I'm like, it's not a bad thing. Like, I mean, we should be angry. Like, it would be really weird if people weren't angry right now. I mean, just in general. Like, I don't want to talk about the world, and I'm not going to, but the world in general makes me angry, and it probably makes all of us angry if you think about it. So, yeah, it's just another human emotion, I think, and humor is also my coping mechanism. So, exercise, we're going for a run, having a good dance party, solo or whatever, and laughing at whatever you can find to laugh at. And Greg, how about grief and sad feelings? That is a good one because grief is just pure sadness in my mind. And what we really have to remember, me especially, but like what all of us really have to remember about grief is that it ebbs and flows and it comes in waves, and it really sucks that it does that because I wish it was a linear thing. Like I genuinely do. I wish like the bad thing happened and you're like really upset, and then as time goes on you just get less and less upset and it's okay and it's whatever. And maybe some things, and for some people it works that way. But from all the people I've spoken with on this topic and from my own experiences, grief is a crazy roller coaster, and I'm going to sorry, just tap the mic. I'm going to read something right now that my friend wrote about grief. So, just for reference, she lost her brother. Grief really does come in waves. It also comes in whirlpools, undertows, waterfalls, torrential downpours, and misty showers on days when you think the sky will remain clear and the clouds still find you. But grief also comes in sun rays, in blue jays, hummingbirds, dragonflies, and blades of grass that kiss your skin and remind you that energy never dies. For me, the journey has been about finding new ways to connect and disconnect simultaneously. Sometimes grief brings joy, and sometimes grief brings pain. And eventually you accept that these are two sides of the same coin. Your capacity to feel one is only as great as your capacity to feel the other. So here I am 1 year later, still choosing to feel it all. Made it. Yeah. I think that's a good one. Mike says your reaction to this adds to its impact and why she wrote it so people would feel it and connect, why she wrote it. Yep. Yes, she is a really great writer. And it's very impactful words. She's like a word magician. I don't think I could say it any better than that. So Greg says, yes, got it. Being productive and having a schedule during grief time. Thoughts. Yes, I do have thoughts on that. I think that if you can schedule off time, like schedule free time to grieve, I think you should. I know that people obviously have to work and make money and survive, but I think being open and honest with the people that you work with, that you are grieving, if you are, seeing if they can work around your schedule or if your schedule changes or whatever, and just being as honest as you can with the people that you're with about what you're moving through, because grief is really hard. And basically, like, I don't know anybody who doesn't know what it feels like to lose somebody so close to you. And even if not, like, you can imagine, I'm sure anyone can cry at just thinking about, like someone that's very important to them being gone. So people are, I hope that people are a lot more kind than we tend to assume, if we're open and honest about it. And just because a lot of people aren't, a lot of people just try to like white knuckle and just be like, well, I'll get through this. Like, I can still keep my same schedule. And maybe that's what they need to do. And maybe that's what's best for certain personality types. But if you're someone who needs a break and like feel like you don't have one or can't get one, ask for one. Say like, listen, I really love this job and I want to stay working here, but I am in a really tough place with grief. I'm actively working on it. Like, be in therapy or whatever you need to work through. Like, let's let them know that you're actively working through it or whatever. But I think we need to be really kind to ourselves when we're grieving, like in general, but especially about productivity, because like also a lot of the things that you produce or that you create while you're grieving, when you look back at them, you might remember, like for me, I've made a lot of videos during really hard times in my life, and it's hard for me to rewatch them because, and I don't, because I just remember how tough that time was. But sometimes I do, just to remind myself that I made it through that, like I was in a really tough place and I'm not there anymore. So yeah, Lisa says, my grief is not only from losing a loved one, but I have grief over situations that have changed in my life. Lisa, absolutely. This is a main point of grief that I really want to talk about. And for you, Greg, too, as well. Not working, but still trying to except not being very productive or focused. That's kind of what I was just saying is like for me, I'm self-employed, so I don't have a boss telling me I need to do anything. I'm chronically ill. Like, this is kind of my life. Like, I'm always kind of beating myself up for not being productive enough, while at the same time I'm constantly grieving situations in my life. I've lost loved ones. Luckily, I've not lost any of like my core loved ones yet. And I'm so lucky for that. But most of the grief that I talk about and I experience personally is the grief that is spoken about in a lot of chronic illness groups and worlds, which is grieving your present circumstances, grieving the past circumstances that you were in and past pains that you have felt, grieving the future that you thought was gonna happen that is not happening, grieving just everything. Let's grieving everything about the ideals that you had of like who you thought you were going to be at this time in life, or like the plans that you had. And it can be really hard to recognize that with yourself, that like, damn, like this is not where I thought I was going to be at this age, but it's where you are, so that's where that's what I try to mostly remind myself of is that everything changes, and just because we all have like these expectations of like what we're supposed to do and when, that is all external, and like none of that is our own plan, because whatever our life plan is going to play out no matter what it is. Like it has no choice but to. So we are always on track. Like we are always where we're supposed to be. And when it doesn't feel like it, it's usually just because we've told ourselves that it's not supposed to be that way, or society has told us it's not supposed to be that way. And so I just try to remind myself that like there are no rules like this, and I am where I'm supposed to be, even though, yeah, like I wish that I was somewhere entirely different or in a better place or whatever. It doesn't matter, because I'm where I'm at, and that means I'm supposed to be here for whatever reason. So let me make the most of it while I'm here and make lemonade, play the best hand that you can with the cards you've been dealt. Perry says, grieving is a brutal part of the landscape. Sending love to all. Absolutely. Sames. Thank you for that, Perry. And goes with the theme of change in seasons. Absolutely. This talk is for you too. Yeah, these talks are, I always say that. I'm like, and I always try to remind people of that, but I don't want to like say it too often. But I'm like, I am not coming on here as a meditation instructor or teacher or whatever because I am really good at meditating and know how to live life and trying to teach that to you guys. Like, this is my way of healing, like in a selfish way and in a community way. Like, everything that I say in these sessions is me talking to me. Like these are all messages that I need to hear. Like these are not things, like I don't live my life in the most perfect way ever, like at all. I just don't. And doing these sessions is the thing that I need to do in order to release these things and just let myself know or keep myself in check that I'm not alone with these things, and neither are any of you guys, especially because I know a lot of you guys have chronic illnesses too, and we're stuck at home a lot, and we are alone, like physically, genuinely alone. It's really, I'm so grateful for Inside Timer, just for all you guys, because we can all feel each other and not feel so isolated within our isolation, if that makes sense. But yeah, thank you, Mike. And Louise says, ugh, I feel that heavily too. And from Leo Queen to another, happy birthday soon. When's your birthday? Yay, mine's in 5 days. Wow, it's so soon. I'm August 6th. Happy birthday to you too. And thank you so much, Mike. That's all I try to do. And it's hard to, Louise says, it's hard to stop, except sometimes. Oh, I see. It's hard to accept sometimes that we're on track. I totally agree. And when I feel that way, my mantra like in my head is getting off the track is a part of the track, or being off the path is a part of the path. Like veering away from the path or being on track is a part of it. Like you only know where your path is or where the track is if you veer away from it. So like, I think like if this is like your life path kind of thing, like this is the start point, this is the end point. Like we're going to be going like this, weaving off and on the path and hopefully shooting straight up once we get toward the end. But I think we're always going to be kind of on either side of on track, and that's part of it. Like the path of life is waves, you know. Mariano, thank you so much. And Vincenza says, I am just struggling so much with the amount of pain my body is in. I have an endoscopy booked and I'm so scared. I am so sorry. And I hope that endoscopy is soon. And I hope that they find answers for why you are in the amount of pain that you're in. But I'm glad you're going and searching for those answers, because I know how easy it is to put it off and to push back the scopes and all those things. So I'm proud of you just for booking the endoscopy. Sending all the love to you, Vincenza, and I hope that you find some amount of relief with that pain, because it sucks. Lemonade isn't always going to be as sweet as we'd like. I love that, Mike. That's great. I haven't heard that before. And, you know, sometimes I prefer a more, I actually always prefer, I always prefer a more sour lemonade, now that you mention it. Not selfish self-care, absolutely. And Perry says, I appreciate you so much, Ruthie. Thank you so much. Thank you for hosting these lives. And your candor and honesty is truly therapeutic. Thank you. I, at times, really overthink if I'm just blabbing into the ether and not making any sense. So thank you for that reassurance. And I appreciate you so much. Your birthday's today, Louise. Oh my God, happy birthday. You have the same birthday as one of my friends. The first week of August is like, I think I know a person with every day the first week of August. Happy birthday, Louise. Yay. And you said your besties is the 6th. Yeah, that's mine. And your mom's. Oh, and your mom's besties. Wow, that's so funny. 86. Yeah, 86 is my favorite number. Well, happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. And Greg says being productive is a society problem. Oh, word. Absolutely. Yeah. Productivity in general is a societal expectation that was just shoved down our brain holes, you know? So we got to like redefine what productivity looks like to you and for you, I think, at least to some extent. And Vincenza says, I've just started to burn every time I eat and feel full so quick. No idea what's going on. Same. Sorry. So yeah, it's, I'm in the same boat. I don't have advice because I'm like, I literally have I can't eat a single thing without, it coming back up the wrong way, which sounds like a bowel obstruction, but apparently they did a CT scan and apparently it's not a full bowel obstruction. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on either. I'm so sorry. But But yeah, I'll send you those bone broth recipes because bone broth has really been my life force lately. So Ellen says, hi, Ruthie and friends. I'm a Crohn's patient. Me too, friends. Have to get all the tests done again, colonoscopy, endo, MRE. I'm dreading it. Any suggestions for getting through all of the prep? Ellen, yes. Drink a lot of water, drip drop or like hydration stuff throughout the day. And what time? Schedule, like in the future, and you probably can't change it now, but my biggest advice for the scopes is even if you have to change the date, get it so that you have a morning time. Because you do not want to have, like, it sucks to have to do the clean out, like, starting in the afternoon one day and then like the whole morning the next day and then have like a late afternoon appointment. Like if you can get like a early morning appointment, perfect. Yes, I made it in the morning this time. So yes, that's the only thing that I can really say that makes it easier, I would say. And clearing your schedule, obviously the day for both days. And yeah, that makes it significantly easier because then you just have to do that one day of the clean out and you don't have to worry about the morning. You can just get up and drive to your appointment and then you'll go to sleep, wake up, before you know it, you'll have water and be able to eat. So that'll make it a lot easier. And just know you'll get through it. And I just hope for the best and hope that they find answers that will provide some relief and help for you, is what I would say. And thank you. Thank you so much, Ellen, for all of these things. Talk to your doctors first. I'm not even close to a doctor. So for everything, talk to your doctors first. But these are the things that I've done, I guess, or that helped me. And same to you, Ellen and Lisa, and to everybody out there. So I'm starting to lose some steam. I'm going to wrap this up. Everyone take care of yourself and be so patient. So patient and kind to yourself, especially given, one, the state of the world, and two, the state of your world and your health and your mind and everything that's happening for you individually in conjunction with the state of everything. So you don't need to make life any harder. We don't need to make life any harder for ourselves by being assholes or by being mean to ourselves. And, you know, just let yourself be wherever you're at right now. And just know that it's not going to last forever because nothing does. And breathe and sing and dance and play with your puppies and animals and look at birds and do whatever you need to do to get to the next moment or get to the next day and just do whatever it is you got to do. Grow some plants. Look at some plants. You can follow me on Insight Timer and see my live schedule and join whenever I'm live. Thank you guys again. Hope you have a great Friday, great rest of your day, and a great weekend. And happy August. And happy birthday to Louise. And yeah, have a great month. Hope to see you next week. Okay, bye.